Hard habit to break. That's Chicago right there on Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. I certainly am. There's no question about it. Why do people get stuck in our minds, on our minds, stuck with us sometimes, right? We gave up eons ago, but they still, what the frick? Why does that keep happening? Well, there was a question that was brought up to me, and it's a really awesome question. And I guess she had her take on it, and or at least what people have been saying. She's talked to a couple empaths and a couple psychics, and they kind of talk about that we're connected. And sometimes when we're thinking about each other, and without a doubt, I kind of agree. I think that's a real basic, general kind of understanding of it. What it comes down to, and I think there's the bigger picture to this, obviously. So first off, we'll take a small step back. Why do we sometimes have people that get stuck in our minds? Maybe they're people that we want to stop thinking about, right? And choose to, we're trying to just move on, but they keep popping in. But, it's not ruining your day, but you're just curious. You're more curious, why do they keep popping into my head? There's the scenario where someone that you've had maybe a bad relationship with, maybe an ex, right? And you don't ever want to get back together with them, and they keep popping up because maybe they're kind of stuck on you. Maybe they're trying to manifest you, right? And you don't want it. You're not interested, but they want you, so they're trying or whatever. So they keep popping into your head, and you really don't want them to. So there's those kinds of scenarios. And then you've got maybe even scenarios where, I don't know, maybe someone you want to be with, maybe you've kind of given up and they keep popping into your head. Maybe they're someone you kind of got a thing going with. I don't know. So one, we'll talk about the important part. If you want to stop someone from popping into your head, at least because of them, you can block them. There's a blocking technique. It's nothing fancy. There's no, again, I keep talking, a lot of people like to make stuff really fancy and crazy. I don't. It's very simple. It's all about intention. It's really how the universe works. I don't see any reason I'm making anything fancy. People do love a good, so if you want, what you do is you go, okay, take your right hand. That's what you do. You put your right hand, you put it up, and you kind of make a circle. Then you take your left hand, you put it up, and kind of make a circle at the same time. And then you just really just go, why am I doing this with my hands? And you stop, and you go, I block you, so-and-so. I block your higher self. There you go. Now you're done. You've blocked them. All you have to do is consciously say, I block you. You are blocked. Done. They're blocked at that point. You have blocked their energy. I block them from pushing any energy through me. I block them from being connected. I block their connection to me. Now, from a soul level, we're still connected because we have to be. It's important. But from a conscious level, you actually block that connection. And they'll actually experience something different. They won't understand it. But they'll still think about you. But there's not going to be, they won't know. Let's put it this way. They won't know. It's kind of like sending a radio signal, right? If you're on a small radio station and you're sitting there on your microphone, you're like, hey, this is Dan RadioStyle. Everybody out there, we just played songs from the past, right? And then there's absolutely nobody listening. I would never know that as a DJ. In fact, I worked at a radio station where I would beg for a phone call just to see if there was someone out there. I'm like, call this number. There's no one going to call. Trust me, call. I knew nobody was listening. I was talking to myself. There's probably a speaker in a parking lot someplace that maybe had me stuck on it, but outside of that. So that's basically what's going to happen when you block them. So done. Now, a lot of things come into play. Basically, I've talked about thought transmissions a lot. So I don't know. For me, the first place I went when the person talked to me about this question was, well, yeah, it's a thought transmission. That's exactly what that is. So a lot of people have asked, what happens when someone thinks about you? Will I know? How do I know? How you know is by practicing paying attention to when people just randomly pop into your head for no reason whatsoever. Like you're making a sandwich and then all of a sudden you're like, huh? Really? What? Huh? In your head, it'll trip you out. You're like, that doesn't even correlate to where I'm at in my world right now. Huh? That is you probably picking up on them. If you're sitting there making a sandwich going, oh, this is his favorite kind of sandwich. Oh, I'm thinking about him. I wonder if that's him. No, you're thinking about him making his favorite sandwich. That's 100% you. Now, granted, very subtle. Yes. But when it has nothing to do with anything, and then it hits you, that's usually how you'll figure it out the first few times. Then after that, I think truly, honestly, when two people are connected, and I've played with this a lot, even lately, it's really fun. When two people are connected and do truly love each other, so for a lot of you guys out there, maybe you're apart for whatever reasons, right? Maybe someone's married, maybe they're in a different state or country or county or whatever. but you guys are going to make this. You're going to make it happen, right? In these cases, when you think about it, when he pops into your head, you guys are doing it together. At the exact same moment, you guys are both thinking about each other in a lot of cases. And those are the ones that will feel like really kind of trippy, kind of warm, kind of glowy. They may make you sweat sometimes. You'll feel an enormous amount of love. If there's a true love connection between the two of you, you'll feel this really strong, like it'll bring tears to your eyes. Like very intense experiences oftentimes are accompanied because you're both connected. Now, some of you guys are going to say this has happened and then this happened. Dan, does that mean I'm connected? I don't know. Before you type it, you probably have already typed it. So hopefully I'm answering your question now. And maybe when I don't answer it in the comments, you'll understand why. Because in the video, I said, why? I don't know. These are the kind of, they're tiered and it's a sensitivity thing. Trying to teach people their empathetic side, their empaths skills, is something that you step them through. They have to experience it in stages. They have to have a few experiences that are slightly different. And then they're like, oh, that's the difference. And it's an internal thing. You learn how it feels. It hits you differently. It's just a feeling. It's completely no way to prove it. Completely. It's like, all right, well, let's take this thing that's completely unprovable, and then we're going to layer it into segments, right? Like, if it feels like this, and it's probably that, and if it feels really like this, and then, ooh, it's different, and then, right? That's basically what it is. But we are connected to one another. We have soul families. We have soul groups. We have soul contacts. Or contracts, I should say. We have different agreements that we've made with people prior to coming to life. I mean, I know this might be crazy for some of you, but whatever. We've made these decisions. We're like, hey, no, we're going to get together. I'm going to be there at the same time too, right? It's like when you're traveling to a city and you know a friend's going to be there. You're like, we should meet up, right? Because it's fun to know somebody when you go to that faraway, crazy land and you know your friend's going to be there too. You're like, Baba, let's get together. Let's at least get lunch one day. It would just be weird for some reason. Like I can see you any day I want at home, but now that I'm afar and you're there too, it'd be kind of cool to hang out. Let's do that. So the same thing kind of happens when we come to Earth, right? And we come to this consciousness. We're like stoked that friends are going with us. It's like, yes, let's get together. We're going to have a party. Yes. It's going to be rad. You should see it. I've already got the decorations planned out. Oh, it's going to be amazing. The music, I've already burned the CD. Well, CDs will happen by then. Trust me, when the party happens, they'll still have CDs. I promise you. So again, it's that whole thing. We're connected with people. And one of the most amazing connectors, believe it or not, is love and hate. Because basically hate's the opposite of love. It's the same emotion, just in a bad direction. But love and hate are powerful, powerful emotions that create an amazingly powerful, it's like shooting a fireball out at the person that you're having a thought transmission with. Like, it's, wow, dang, what the hell? Like, whoa. Or if it's anger, it'll be like, what the, ooh, or if it's love, it'll be like, oh, man, but again, when you're thinking about each other at the same time, it's like that Wonder Twins power, man. It's amazing how it comes together. It's a very profound and beautiful aspect when it comes together at the same time. If they're thinking about you and you're not thinking about them and you don't really want to think about them, it'll hit you. They'll pop into your head and be like, that's a thought transmission. You're picking up on a thought transmission. You're actually sensitive. That's good. And a lot of people that are going to be listening to my channel are going to fall into that category. That's just the kind of teacher I've been for years. So those are the people. The teachers of teachers is what I've always said, and that's what it is. So you'll feel it. And if you're thinking of them, they have the same opportunity. They might not. You don't necessarily pick up on every single time they think of you. You might not. It depends. If you're really, really busy on stuff and you're very preoccupied and very, car's coming, like them thinking about you is not going to be like a car's about to hit you and all of a sudden they pop into your head and you're like, oh, like you just get rolled, right? No. Like the car is way more important. Your filter's like, no, bigger things. It's just a natural filter. And thank God so, right? Because otherwise that would hurt. So there are times, depends how focused and busy you are, whether you're picking up on them, but a lot of times you are. A lot of times we feel each other. It's so weird for a lot of people to be like, I know, it's so weird. But how many times have you had that experience? Right before they text, someone pops into your head and then bling, and you're like, what? Right before they call you, someone pops into your head, bling, what the, Right before something happens and you get an email and you're like, crap, like I knew there was an issue. Like you get these feelings. These spider senses they joke about, they were tingling, right? We have a sixth sense. There is one. People don't talk about it. We're not supposed to, whatever. Nowadays we do. It's kind of cool. Work on it. Pay attention. It's an amazing thing, but that can be very related to why we're always thinking about each other. I was thinking about you just right there. Did you feel it? Did you feel it? I know. You probably didn't. Doesn't matter. Going out with a great song by Matchbox. It's right here. And, of course, it'll be on Dan. Oh, yeah, Matchbox 20. I was worried I didn't have the song queued up, and I'm all worried about that. Yeah, Matchbox 20. Good song. It's called Overjoyed. It's right here on Dan Radio Style. Let me be the one to make it